This Sunday, all three of these readings seem to confront us with the question of faith. So it strikes me as a perfect time to talk about believing, or more to the point, about being good stewards of our faith. I think we assume that faith just happens, and that some people have it and others do not. We fail to realize that faith needs to be exercised. When I was assigned to the Newman Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I tried to get fit, P90X, no less. Yeah, I was naively optimistic back then. At the gym, aptly named Defined Fitness, I would see guys from the college who I knew I didn't see in church. This is a professional curse, I guess. They were there regularly. One might even say they were religious about their gym time and disciplined about their physical workout. But when I asked them what they did for their soul, they sheepishly hemmed and hawed and embarrassingly looked down at the ground. Then I would say, "I have a great gym you should try." "What's that?" they asked, eager to change the subject, and I would say, "It's called Divine Fitness." Okay. And you can be my guest. That was about the reaction they would give, too. And you can be my guest this weekend. And needless to say, I had very few takers, but it made the point. Faith is not a child's game. It is a serious adult responsibility. It's too easy for us to assume that believing is in make-believe something. It is too easy for us to assume that believing in make-believe, something we did as kids, pretended to be asleep, pretended to be grown-ups. I think I still do that one. And pretended not to hear someone. I know couples that do that. I'm afraid we can get so good at pretending. Grand auto theft, Farmville, Caneva, Nintendo Wii, that we find reality seemed unreal, less exciting. Making believe is not believing, any more than my incredibly good-looking zero body fat avatar is me. Believing, true believing, is about the risky business of trust. It's about vulnerability and openness. The Book of Wisdom, our first reading, hits the nail on the head when it says that they put their faith in nothing more than a promise, an oath told to them from long ago. Faith requires a letting go. My not being in control. It's little wonder that when tragedy comes to the faithless person, he or she is at a loss. They never learn the lessons of faith, of true trust, of true believing. Instead, they tried to keep everything tightly under control. We know that the rigid branches break. They never have learned how to bend, how to be less stubborn, and let God's will reshape them. An awful lot of us find it hard to journey out into those unknown places, to walk amid the fierce and alien landscapes of our failures, of loss, of illness, aging, and death. it is easier to be safe, to allow our fears to keep us back, pretending that we are perfect, that we are invincible, that we are forever young. But adult faith, grown-up believing, isn't so easily corralled, locked up. It roams free and turns what once seemed barren into lands of fertile promise. What was once considered dead, now born anew. Adult faith, true believing, echoes the faith of Abraham and Sarah. It risks, it trusts, it endures. This brings me then to Luke's Gospel and to the heart of my sermon, stewardship. If you, for one moment, think that all this church, all this religion, all this sacred mystery is just make-believe, then you have been robbed. Somewhere, somehow, you got cheated. In some way, you squandered a great treasure and proven yourself a worthless steward of the one thing that makes life most meaningful. Stewardship is about taking care, looking after that which was given to us in trust. It demands serious and sober honesty with our authentic self. Not the make-believe you, but the real you. The one that searches your heart in the night hours. The one that draws out the best of you in the light of day. It's not easy. You can be sure of this. Even Peter struggled with it. So we are in good company. Being a good steward of your faith doesn't come about because you went to CCD or RCIA or daily Mass, though these all help. Being a good steward of your faith only comes about because you cared, because you took care. Take a good look at your life. See what you really care about. And if there isn't a real delight in the good and holy moments that have crept into your heart, those brief glimpses of God's goodness that is so near, then I would say something is wrong. For where your heart is, there too is your treasure. People are called fools for a reason. And it seems to me that failure to care for the greatest treasure given to us might be one such a reason. Such a person has mistaken the make-believe for the real, the tin for the true silver, and put their faith in what cannot save. The decision is yours, but the choice has consequences as well. Much is asked when much is given. Do you believe? It means taking a risk, putting your faith in a promise. But glorious indeed is that risk. Do you believe?